I started Miracles Coaching because I realized that trying to change on my own is entirely possible, entirely doable, but I'm going to move at a slow pace. I'm going to just do it by baby steps. I've read a lot of books. You can change from books. I've written books that have helped people change. And you can still have all of that growth kind of happen. But I found out that if I want the warp speed accelerated change where things really happen different for me and I move out of the muck that I have created from my belief system, then I need a coach. And not just any coach. I decided I wanted to create Miracles Coaching. And we've had this going 5 years since I started it, and the last few years up in Prosper and so forth. It is one of the most powerful, transformative systems that you'll ever come across. And one of the beauties of this is not only do you have an ally, you have a support team. And I think that's one of the secrets to making a change is you got somebody who believes in you. I was at Jerry and Esther Hicks' house one time. These are the people who put out the Abraham material. And there was a quote on the wall, which I'm not going to remember the exact quote, but it was from the old Western, from the Virginian. And there was a line in there that said, the only way that I can be a success is by having somebody believe in me more than I believed in myself. I don't have the exact quote, but you get the sense of what that's about. When you have a miracles coach, you have somebody who's believing in you besides you. You definitely can make that little bit of a growth on your own, but with a miracles coach, you're going to go flying down the road. You're going to accelerate it. See, in my book, Attract Money Now, if you haven't read it, Attract Money Now is free at attractmoneynow.com. Just go to attractmoneynow.com and you can download it and read it, so it's free. I talk about beliefs we have that create a limit for what we can allow into our lives. And I remember saying a few years ago, it's been more than a few years at this point, but I was on the internet and I was doing very well on the internet. This might have been 10 years ago or more. And I realized that I was hitting a ceiling in how much money was coming in. And I thought, how is that possible? There are no watchdogs that say you cannot make so much money on the internet. They don't come along and say, oh, you've gone over the tipping point here. You've got to back down and make a little bit less. Nobody does that. So the limit must be coming from me. I must be projecting my limit onto the internet or wherever money would come from in my life or any of your lives. And so I started to think, where would that limit come from? Why would I not want to go higher than what I've been doing over the last few years, which is a nice level, but we want to raise the bar. And then I realized I didn't want to make any more money than my father. I didn't want to make any more money than my parents. And when I looked at that, and I've said this story many times before, people will I'll hear a rumble around the room where they'll all realize that's true. I felt the same way. Maybe not consciously, but unconsciously we're thinking, no, we can't make more than our husband. We can't make more than our father. We can't make more than my brother. We can't make more than some other figure. That's a belief. It's not a fact, right? If it's a fact, it would be true for every single person, in every case, everywhere. It's a belief. So I looked at that belief and I thought, what does my father really feel? Proud. And if I did better than him, better being a relative term, how would he feel? He'd be happy. I've gone back several times since my mother is very ill right now, so I've gone back to see my family quite a bit recently. And my father repeatedly tells me how proud he is of me. And I'm very fortunate. He's 86 years old, and he looks me right in the eye and he says, you have really done well. And he's proud. Things that you long to hear from your folks. But I had to wrestle a dozen years ago with the idea, oh, that ceiling is invisible because I'm projecting what other people will think if I make more than what I was currently making. And in this case, with me, it was my father. So I invite you just to explore that as a belief. Freedom is on the other side.